performance and general well-being inside of an organization. Blake's going to be doing a presentation today, but I'll just introduce him and say a few words about myself first. From a really young age, I struggled with mental health. I grew up on the central coast of Queensland, a little place called Mackay. If you know it, it's a mining town full of football, beer and fistfights. Wasn't really for me as a young fella, and I really struggled to try and find a sense of security and safety as a young man. By the time I was about 12 years old, I'd turned to drugs, alcohol and petty crime to try and find my place in that community. That led me down a bit of a slippery slope, as you can imagine. Navigating the complexities of being a teenage kid and trying to stay out of juvenile hall in the meantime. It was a really tumultuous time for me as a young lad, and by the time I was 18 years old, I'd lost 6 of my close friends to mental health related deaths, be it suicides, overdoses, drunk driving incidents. And at that time I realized that I really had to make a change, a drastic change, to become the man that I wanted to be and someone that I would actually be proud to be in the future. Fortunately, around that time I was employed by Toyota Motor Corporation, and I got introduced to the world of personal development and learning systems and frameworks that I could use to implement in my life to improve my relationships and get more done, be more effective with not only work but life tasks and moving forward in the right direction. Since then, I took to it like a duck in water, and I've been fanatically obsessed with psychology, group dynamics, and I'm not sure if I'm standing in front of the screen, but psychology, group dynamics, and just human behavior and how we can all improve and live a better, more fulfilling life. And really fortunately, I've found myself in good places over the years, and I've been fortunate enough to help build 2 multi-million-dollar companies over the last 8 years. And I feel really blessed to have been able to do that. And it's, all thanks to the amazing people in my life and the amazing systems and frameworks that I've learned and been able to implement and stay out of trouble and mental fatigue. A little bit about Blake. Blake is the beautiful man that greeted you all at the front door. You've probably seen him around the office. He works here. He is such an uplifting spirit that in my phone he's saved as Mr. Morale. You'll learn why soon if you haven't already rubbed shoulders with him in the office. Blake is really passionate about health and well-being and has been for a long time, after realizing how important it was for him to, much like myself, navigate life effectively. And he's a multiple business owner for over 9 years and was fortunate enough to raise or create $1.3 million in revenue in his first company in just 3 years. Co-founder of Evocativ, which, as I said before, supports businesses to improve confidence, productivity and workplace culture, and has raised over $120,000 for mental health in just the last couple of years. So I'll bring him on, guys, if we can get a round of applause for Blake Bradford.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Awesome. I know you guys are eating, but before we begin, who here is a business owner? Show of hands. Yeah, and who's an employee? Staff member? Cool. And who's a human being? Yeah, nice. Well, now that I know that your hands are all working, you're not. If you got something in your hand, can I just get you to put your hand out in front of you like this for a moment? Now, I need you to envision that those fingers now represent the 5 most important people in your life. And statistics show that 1 in 5 are currently suffering with or living with a mental health issue. You can go ahead. As Joe mentioned, my name is Blake Bradford. I'm one of the co-founders here at Evocativ Mental Fitness, where we support and empower people inside organisations to stay above the mental health line. We've created a system that we know helps organisations do that. I'm going to share with you that system today, if that's all right. But before I do that, I just want to share with you why we got here and why we do what we do. In 2015, Joseph mentioned, we attended 6 funerals for 6 of our mates for 6 mental health related deaths. And one of them was an aspiring football player, signed to the Cowboys. Another was a tradesman. Actually lived with our co-founder, Kyle, and was his best friend. And another one was his partner a few months later. And we didn't understand at the time, right? But we knew we had to do something in order to change the cycle, change the pattern. So it didn't happen to us, it didn't happen to the people that was close to us. And now recognizing through our journey that we have a power and a passion for preventing that from happening from people in the world. Right, so on our journey, we founded Evocativ in order to support and empower people inside organizations to take suicide to zero. Right, and you guys here, you work in business, you own businesses, right? We spend 20% of our life at work. And if we're not happy and inspired and feeling purposeful every single day, doing that has a big flow-on effect, because the other 20 were sleeping, the other 10 were cooking, and the other 10 were commuting, right? So it doesn't leave much time for other things. And if you want to, as we say, stay above that mental health line, then we've created a system in order to do that. So for you guys out there, as it says at the top, this is a presentation to keep you happy and healthy inside work and in your life, right? So in order to do that, we're going to help you to navigate life's difficult situations, and doing that by effectively communicating, knowing and understanding yourself and others, right? Who thinks that'd be pretty good? Being able to move past the fear of anxiety and show up your natural best. As business owners, we've always got so many things on our plate, and we're putting on different hats, whether it's at work and taking that home, right? How can we show up our natural best? We've got some systems that can help you do that, right? Improve energy, mood, and longevity. Live longer. Help you to feel supported and empowered. One of the key things that Evocativ do is support and empower not just the business owner, but everyone inside that organization. So you can take that framework and take it home and support your family and friends as well, yeah. Also helping to supercharge your productivity, get more done. You know, as business owners, it's how awesome it would be if your team could do more things with more time in our day, right? And especially outside of work, right? What are your top priorities, and how much time are you spending doing that? Being able to be more present and focused. I know as someone who owns a business and has a relationship like my best friends, my business partners, how can I be present with them outside of work and be intentional in that catch up? So I'm not just always in business mind, right? Very, very important. Being able to avoid burnout, stress, and mental fatigue. Stress has been found to be one of the key components in all chronic diseases. And yes, stress is good. It stops you from running in front of buses or meeting deadlines and things like that. But if you don't know how to control it and regulate it, then it can become overwhelming, right? So we've got some systems that can help you with that. Who thinks that'd be pretty good? Yeah. And also in that is to identify, regulate, and change your emotional and physical state. And all of those things together will ensure that you stay above the mental health line, be happier people in healthier business, yeah? So we've only got about 60 minutes. So we've crunched through 15 already, so we'll jump straight into it, all right? So, and of course, happier, healthier, and more positive people. So, E is the first part of the evocative system. And before I tell you what E is, let me tell you why it's so important. So E is going to give you the confidence to navigate difficult conversations, effectively set boundaries and intentions. Who here thinks they're good at setting boundaries? Carol. Awesome. So you guys are going to leave with something valuable today, which is awesome, which is great. So what is E? E is empathy. And using empathy to understand and appreciate yourself first and foremost, but then using that understanding to communicate effectively with your peers, people that you care about, clients, all those people, right? So Simon Sinek's one of, who's here heard of Simon Sinek? Yeah, he's incredible. He's actually, his business mission is very closely aligned to ours, which I think is really cool. And he always starts with why. But he's created some really cool frameworks, and we've adopted one of his frameworks to use empathy to effectively navigate difficult conversations, and that's called FBI. And FBI is a simple framework. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to go through the framework. I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like, and then we'll roll through an activity together. How's that sound? Cool. So FBI is, the first part of the system is feelings. And what are you doing with feelings? You're identifying how you felt after a specific interaction with someone. So getting really clear on how you felt. So there's a million different feeling wheels out there, but the core ones are like sadness, anger, happiness, joy, power, peaceful. Right? So identifying how you felt. The second part of the framework is behavior. And that's to state specifically the behavior that caused you to feel that way. Getting really clear on that. And as it says there, the more specific you can be, the better. So on Tuesday, when you did this, I felt this way. Make sense? And then you've got the impact. What was the impact that that interaction had on you in that moment, and also on your relationship moving forward? And how can you take that now and have that conversation? So a great example that Joe actually gave me once was, say I'm in a meeting with Joe, and we've got half an hour together, I'm introducing a new concept to him, and he's constantly looking down at his watch. And I'm starting to feel a little bit like my time's not valued, he doesn't really care about me, I'm getting a little bit frustrated. And it might even be a bit like sad about that. So I'm like, oh, this guy should care, but he doesn't. And so the impact that it's having is that I think Joe's not really with me in the room right now, it's not a good time to talk to Joe, I don't want to do this meeting, right? So a way that I could approach that would be like, hey Joe, can I just share something quickly? Yeah, sure. I'm feeling kind of sad and upset right now, and a little bit frustrated because I keep observing you looking down at your watch, and it's making me feel like you're not really present with me right now. And the impact of that is that I'm not sure if this is a good time or not to have this meeting. Like, is there somewhere you need to be? And in that, Joe's just understood my expectations of him. I haven't accused him of anything. I've been super vulnerable, and now Joe understands how I expect him to show up, and that sets that boundary as well. Does that make sense? And so if Joe comes back in that scenario and says, oh no, I'm not even looking at my watch, it's like the final little 0.5 tip there is repeat if necessary. And so that just looks like, yeah, I appreciate that, however, and you walk through the framework again. Cool? So we're going to do a little activity. It's going to take about 12 to 15 minutes. I've got some paper in front of you. Does everyone have a pen? Or who doesn't have a pen? Everyone doesn't have a pen. All right.
We used to share it in our office.
Pass the pens around. I think there might be some more in here.
I like that FBI.
There might be some pens in the front of my bag.
If we do run out, maybe notes on your phone would be a happy compromise.
I have one. You have
Okay.
Yes.
I've checked it. I've checked the pattern. There's Okay, cool. Everyone's got a writing apparatus or can take a note on their phone. Cool. So what we're going to do is we'll spend 2 minutes on, there'll be 4 questions. We'll spend about 2 minutes on each one. I'll help navigate you through it. And you're just going to write down and work through that framework, okay? Cool? So first part of the first question is, think of a specific interaction at work, we'll keep this work related for this one, where someone's actions have negatively impacted you. So, you've got 2 minutes, and start now.
Battery 90%. Connected to Flakes icon.
If you're stuck to find something at work, think of just another interaction with someone. Could be a friend, could be a partner, could be even a client, potentially. About 60 seconds left on that one. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. Wrapping up there. And pens down. Pens down. Cool. Everyone got something written down? Yes. Cool. Awesome. So working through that FBI framework now. The first part of that is feelings. So identify how you felt after that specific interaction and getting clear. So some of those feelings were like sadness, frustration, anger, overwhelm, not valued. Time starts. Got 2 minutes on that one as well. Another 60 seconds on that one. If you think you're really clear on it, get clearer. It's an invitation, just get clearer. The more specific and exact you can be on that one, it's really, really powerful. About 30 seconds left. Wrapping up there. And pens down. Cool, cool. Everyone got some feelings down. Got a little bit vulnerable, a little bit. No tears, which is good. Tears are fun, tears are fun. So the next step is B, behaviour. So stating specifically the behaviour that caused you to feel that way. And remember again, being really specific. The time, the place, what actions were taken that caused that behaviour. So 2 minutes on that one. About halfway there. Thirty seconds. Right, wrapping up there, and pens down. Awesome, and I think you all know what's coming up now. What was the impact? What was the impact that that had on you in that moment and on your relationship moving forward? Just over halfway. Seconds. Wrapping up there, and hands down. Awesome. Hands down there. I'll get everyone just to stand up quickly. Slowly, whichever you wish. There's 17 people here, but can we just find a buddy? Just find a buddy between you and Joe. You'll have to jump in for someone. Get a buddy. Get a buddy. Everyone's got a buddy. Yeah.
Who doesn't have a buddy?
Andy.
Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hi.
Joseph's your new buddy. Joseph's your new buddy. Between the two of you, decide who's going to be A and who's going to be B.
Cool. Thank you. write it down.
Awesome. Can I just get all the A's? Show of hands. A's, you're going to go second. You're going to go second. A's going to go second. B's, you're going to go. Who's B's? Show of hands. Awesome. You're going to go first. So, A's, your role is just to listen, and at the end, just say thank you for sharing. Right, we're going to get 60 seconds, and then all the B's, I need you to share what you wrote down with your partner, with your new buddy. Right, you got 60 seconds, and go. Wrapping up there, and yeah, stopping there. Stopping there. Oh, everyone's on a tangent. How good. Alright. All the B's, your role now is to listen and say thank you for sharing. So A's, your role now is to share the FBI framework. You can 60 seconds. Go. Halfway. Wrapping up there. And stop right there.
60 seconds is short. 60 seconds is short.
It goes quick, doesn't it? Well, at least you got the framework now. You can all find your seats.
She's sitting on the side.
Awesome, great stuff, guys. How did that all feel for everyone? Bit unusual, a little bit different, bit vulnerable maybe. Yeah, super proud of you guys. It can be a little bit of an uncomfortable thing using your feelings and emotions to communicate. But I encourage you to take that framework and use it, right? So, and remember, if they don't quite hear you or they push back and get defensive, as we do as human beings, I appreciate that. However, you just go through the framework again, really elegantly. So, that was the E, that was the first part of the system. So who here knows what E is?
Empathy.
What is E?
Empathy.
E is empathy, and who here now has one way to use empathy to effectively communicate, set boundaries and expectations? Say I do. I do. And most importantly, I do. And most importantly, who's going to now use that? Use empathy when they're having difficult conversations and navigate those more successfully. Say I will.
I will.
Nice, awesome. Guys, you can see the QR code on there, appreciating that we only have about 25 minutes left together. We don't have time to walk through every how-to of the evocative system, So what I'm going to do is, we've just given you E, empathy. We'll work through and I'll tell you why the system's really, really important. And then at the end we'll go through V and I'll give you another activity and a how-to on that. How's that sound? So what I have done though is we've created a PDF for you guys to take away, use, implement, that has a overview, a how-to on every part of that system. So if you want access to that, QR code is there. In fact, pull your phone out right now, scan the QR code and send us a message with the word evocative and we'll send you that through.
If anyone needs me to get closer, I'm happy to walk up into that for you.
Zoom's good for this stuff, actually.
And just send us a message on whatever platform. Does anyone not have social media? Okay, cool.
Joseph. Welcome. Nice to meet you. I believe it's very slow. It's really good. Thank you.
Awesome to see everyone's keen to get a PDF, so that's good. It's good for you. Good for you. Cool. Awesome. As you do that, I'll keep cracking along. So, what is V? Before I tell you what V is, let me tell you why it's so important. So, we said at the start about being more present and focused and being able to identify and regulate our physical and emotional state. And everyone seemed to think that that would be really valuable. So, we have some processes around doing that. But what we call that part of the process is to verify your state. Verify your state of being, your sensations, understand your feelings and emotions a lot more. Cool? O. And O is one of the really fun parts of the evocative system. It gets you moving, it increases your energy, it helps you to increase your mood, and ultimately live longer. You'll start to realize that evocative love acronyms. So we've created an acronym within O, and it's called health. So O is optimal health. And it's our 6-step process to ensure that you have optimal health. So C, that wasn't meant that way. So C is at the core of all the biggest companies in the world. Who here has heard of Toyota? And who here knows that Toyota made cars? Who here knew Toyota made boats? Okay, well you'd be probably alarmed to know that Toyota make houses as well. Right, so if the 9th biggest company in the world has this at the core of its operations, it's probably going to be pretty good for your business. And in a personal sense, if you are going to be better and show up more and be more present and focused and happier and healthier, you're going to want to continually improve. All right, so quick show of hands again. Who were the business owners in the room? Yeah, and do you guys have 3 or more staff? Awesome, awesome. At the end, there's a special invitation for you guys as well. So moving on, another acronym. So the one with A is really close to home. It's quite an emotional one for us at Evocative. Purely because I think if our friends and people that are struggling can harness it, they'll probably be around still. Every part of the system will help you stay above that mental health line, but if you simply ask for help, it's pretty likely that someone's going to want to support and empower you, right? So ask for us is accountability, seeking help, and kindness. And as I said, there's how-tos in that PDF, so if you didn't quite get around to sending the word evocative yet, make sure you do that because we'll send that out to you again. So the next part is one of those things It's actually the only thing in life that you can't get back. It's our most valued commodity. If you could trade it, you would. If you had more of it, you'd ask for it and you'd pay big money for it. You want to supercharge your productivity, you've got to get better with your time. You want to be more present with your family, you've got to get better with your time. And it's not just like scheduling stuff in, it's being really intentional. It's being really intentional with your time. And if you've got top priorities, and you've got people that you want to catch up with, then make time for that. Invest in that. As I said, this system here is helping businesses to stay healthy, but we're empowering people. And yes, you're at work 20% of your life, but you've got to capitalize on the other 80% as well, right? Just being better with your time. And we've got plenty of frameworks to help you do that. And there's one really great one in the PDF. I was thinking about this a lot lately, and it's actually, I wouldn't say it's caused it's made me do a lot of things that I normally wouldn't do this week. Really leaning into the power of it and the intent of it. I was walking to the bathroom the other day and there was a heap of toilet paper on the ground. And I walked past it and I was like, oh, nah, just leave it. Went to the toilet and then this word popped into my head. I'm like, oh. So it's one of our core values, that evocative. So I went to the bathroom, washed my hands, and I walked past it again. I was like, picked it up, put it in the bin, washed my hands. And it's just the whole time I was thinking, if that's the level that I'm willing to go, and as an organisation, as we grow, when we get employees and people to come on and work for us, if that's the standard I set, then that's the standard that everyone else will rise to, right? So I is integrity. And as I like to categorize it, it's pretty much the standard in which you operate at. If you're willing to have a business that doesn't support and value your people, that's fine. But we're not really aligned with that, right? So integrity is different for everyone, and knowing where your people and your team sit, and knowing where your family and friends sit as well, will allow you to enhance relationships too. Cool, everyone's got that. Everyone wants a bit more integrity. Yeah. So if your bathrooms are dirty in Wotso, now you're gonna have to pick it up, right? No, that's just where my level is at. Just really deep navigating, which is good. Again, some great processes in the PDF for you guys. Now, I said I would share with you another how-to. Obviously, I had to breeze through that quite quickly, so thank you for that. And by now, you're probably understanding, before I tell you what V is, I'm going to tell you why it's so important. And when you harness V and you get the concept, and I'm going to show you how to navigate to that point today, you're going to be motivated and inspired in moments when there's no visible finish line, right? You're going to have that drive, that purpose, right? You're going to have your vision. And whether that's on a personal level, super powerful, super important, and then in your business, knowing what you want your business to achieve, right? At Evocative, ours is to create a world where people wake up feeling purposeful and inspired to do the things that they're truly passionate about on a daily basis. And I've got a process that I'm going to walk you through that we take our clients through. Before we do that, I'm just going to show you a 2-minute video that's going to really help you feel the power of harnessing and creating your vision.
So you're a musical director? Yes, sir. All right. So let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Wow. That girl can sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
In emergencies, children need a champion.
I don't know about you, but that gave me the chills. And I've been watching that a few times the last couple of days. Do you see the power there, the difference in coming from a place of passion and purpose opposed to just an activity and what you do? And Simon Sinek's great for it, right? Starting with why. And for us, the reason that we're up here is we don't want to see suicide anymore. We lost 6 mates in 6 months. And that was just a 6-month period. I've lost other mates from it as well. And so that's our mission, that's our why. That's why I'm up here today. It's why I'll fight through the nerves and jump in front of you guys and keep studying and keep doing everything we do. Because our vision is to create that world. And so as I said, I give you a framework in order for you guys to take your goals and your dreams and turn them into a vision. Right? And we've got a framework called why. And when we work through this with our clients, we get really smart, really specific with our goals. And we often take them on a process where we're creating a goal and a vision that's not bound to money. That's not bound to time. It's almost infinite. It's almost an infinite goal. But for the purpose of today, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and work through this why framework. And I'll get you guys to, on your second piece of paper, write down we'll do about 8 minutes because time's catching up with us. So the first question we ask is, and I want you to write down, is what's a big goal you have in your life right now? You got 60 seconds on that one. Thirty seconds. Wrapping up. And pens down there. Cool. Everyone got a goal down?
Music.
Music was good, right? We've got plenty more sounds coming. So now you've got your goal, and like I said, when we work through this with our clients in this sense, we take this through this process called why. And so the first part of the why framework is, what impact will achieving this goal have on your life? 60 seconds, write that down. Listen to some suspenseful music. Halfway. Wrapping up there. And done. Awesome. Everyone got a pretty cool impact written down? Anyone welcome to share?
At the end?
At the end?
Now?
You can go now, yeah. I'll let you go now.
So the goal and the reason?
Yeah, hit me with that.
Okay. So I want to be a full-time trader to replace my PAYG income and then some, to be my own boss and to be able to finance any pursuit I desire.
That's the impact?
That's the goal.
That's the goal. And what's the what impact of that?
A sense of fulfillment, equipping me to not be restricted by anyone or anything other than myself in living my life.
Awesome, man. Thank you for sharing. Powerhouse, right? That's just the impact. With 2 more steps of the process. So the next part of the process is H. And how will achieving that make you feel? Writing that down. Halfway there. Wrapping up. And hands down. Cool. Who here got some pretty cool emotions come up to say? Anyone welcome to share? Yeah, what's your name?
But do I need to share the goal as well?
Yes, please, yeah. Share the goal and how it make you feel.
Okay. Yeah, my goal is to become a pianist who can play anything, anywhere, anytime.
Wow.
So I can already play the piano, but I cannot play anything, anywhere, anytime. And how this will that make me feel? Let's say fulfilled, happy, powerful, artistic, and let's say harmonized with myself.
That's awesome, man.
Awesome. You can come and do the instrumentals for us.
Next time I'll play.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for sharing. Everyone else got some pretty cool emotions on their paper. Awesome. So the last part of the puzzle is the why. And that's your life without it. I want you to envision or imagine you don't go out there, you don't achieve that goal. What does life look like for you in 3 months, 12 months? What's the consequences of not going out there and fulfilling that for you? wrapping up there. And pens down. Awesome. There was something really powerful shared with me once, and it was if you have your life right now and it's like someone asks you, like, you want to go and do something and achieve something and take off on that journey, and someone says like, oh, what if it all goes wrong? And you say, oh well, I'll just come back and I'll go back to my old job, or I'll go move back to my old town, right? And then someone said to me, okay, well, how does it feel to be living your worst case scenario? If what's worst case is that you go back and do what you're doing right now, how does it feel to go back to that spot? So I want to encourage you to lean into that vision, lean into that goal, become a pianist, quit your job, go full-time trading, right? Because if your why's big enough, the how doesn't matter. Like, we had no idea when we started this how we were going to change the world. We still don't know how we're going to change the world, right? Probably with the evocative system. But what's powerful about it is that we don't have to know how. We just got to know why. And so you can take that framework, apply it to any goal you have, anything you want to do in life, big, small, and go and do it. Live that best case life. So we've gone through the evocative system. We'll go through it again. So what is E? Empathy. What is V?
Verified state.
O?
Optimal health.
What is C?
Continuous improvement.
What is A?
Ask.
What is T?
Time.
What is I?
Integrity.
And what is V?
Vision.
And who here now knows a way to take their goals, their dreams or aspirations and turn it into a vision? Say, I do.
I do.
Awesome. And most importantly, who's going to use it? Who's going to go out there and take action? The most important part to improving your mental health and happiness is doing something about it. So go out there. You can do it. Dream big. And I encourage you to take those steps. I said, again, who are the business owners in the room? I did say I had a special invitation at the end. If you're a business owner with 3 or more people and you really want to support and empower your team to enhance their confidence, their productivity, your workplace culture and well-being, and you're ready to invest in yourself and your business, and I've got an invitation for you to apply for a complimentary 30-minute mental health line clarity call. And I've freed up some time in the next 2 weeks to take those calls and ensure that we get clarity on any part of the evocative system that you're after, and also get clarity on your individual blueprint for your business to stay above the mental health line. Right? All you have to do, the same platform that you sent us the word evocative, send us the message MHL, and I'll show you how to apply for that call. Sounds cool? So, aware that we're ready to change the world. We're ready to work with people that are genuinely serious. So if you message us before the end of the day, before the end of 5 o'clock today, we'll show you just how to apply. It's no obligation, completely obligation free. So I say thank you. Thank you so much for interacting, taking on what we said, and starting the roadmap to becoming evocative. And my wish is that you take what you've learned today and you move towards a life of mental fitness. And you take what you've learned and you share it with someone. This is our mission to change the world, and you guys can help us out with that, right? And because together we can make that world. Together we're stronger, and we can create a world with 0 suicide. I don't know if it'll happen in my life, I don't know if it'll happen in my kids' life, but if we keep doing what we're doing, keep taking that action, we can change that, right? So, dream big, stay humble, keep smiling, and finally, for those business owners, send me a message, MHL, before the close of business today, and I will show you how to apply for that call.
Thank you.
Correct.